Bonjour tout le monde. Je m'appelle Abdelrahman Bennis. My name is Abdelrahman Bennis. I am Business Development Manager from Ingram Micro North Africa. I'm in charge of IBM business as product manager for IBM. For Ingram Micro. I'm pleased to be here with Mr. Deya and Mr. Ben from IBM representing data and AI and automation brands. I have some questions to ask you regarding IBM and technology in general. So my first question would be what for Mr. Deya or Ben as well. So what offering is IBM bringing to the market?
Thank you, Abdelrahman, for this question. I am Deya BASSIOUNI. I am the sales leader for automation.ai for Africa growth market. And thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak about our offering. Actually, in my capacity, I manage two offerings. One, the data AI, and the second is the automation. So to start with the automation, under automation we have multiple products. We can classify them into three categories. One is the business automation. It has to do with everything related to automating the business and infuse AI into the business to make it more efficient and more productive. We start from digitizing the document, managing the content, automating the processes, automating the decision support, and automating the repetitive task and making intelligent work. On the second piece is the IT automation, because with IT automation and with the digitization we have a lot of infrastructure running on top, a lot of services that we need to understand how they relate to each other. And if one service goes down, we have an impact on the business. So we need quickly and efficiently to understand the impact and what is the root cause so that we can fix it and prevent it in the future. A small port drop can impact millions of dollars of transaction happening online in a bank transfer from a client from his account to another account. Last but not least, we have the integration piece. Basically, integration is about connecting different application, different system together to bring a new customer experience where you see, and this is where e-government solution, e-services coming into the picture and depend heavily on integration. This is one piece of the offering. The second piece of the offering is the data AI. It starts from consolidating the data, storing the data, whether structured, unstructured, then understanding how this data, what exists in this data by doing the catalog, doing the indexing, ensuring that we have the right data integrity in place. There is no wrong data, there is no duplication. Then once we have and we are sure that we have the right data in the right place, this is when we start to analyze, to drive value. Then we move to the monetizing of the data. How we can bring value and money or saving money for organization and enterprise customer. This is what we offer and what we bring to our enterprise customer and to the market.
Thanks for that. Mr. Deya, I want you to clarify me a word, since I'm sure that IBM is one of the biggest precursor of this word in our technology. Our technology. Area in general. Why AI became a buzzword? We are using artificial intelligence for all what we are doing in technology.
We are at an inflection point in time, for those people who are old and lost their hair like me, we have seen multiple inflection. When Netscape come as a web browser and HTML was invented, when Windows and Arabization came and brought, and I would say democratized the IT to the people. We are at this point of time where ChatGPT brought kind of open eye to the audience that they can do a lot of things with AI. Actually, IBM was the first to bring AI to the picture in 2011 with Watson, but it was more targeted to enterprise. And I would say we build and we continue to work across the past, I would say, more than 12 years to really make it mature. What happened today is that the technology became very much mature, very available to the market, to the people, and this is where GPT is bringing it to the consumer side. And this is why we hear a lot of buzzword about it, and we hear how and now the question that it exists and it's up and running and it's production, how we can really take it to the enterprise level, how we can drive value out instead of just doing personal question and getting answer and solving student homework at home.
Sure. Okay, a straight question now. What is your go-to-market strategy?
So if I want to summarize it in one word, I would say focus. So the way we do it is that we want to focus with partner. We are very selective in our partner. We pick the partner who have the right competency, the right sales coverage, and the right understanding of the business need. We marry them with our product. What is the right product that will fit their go-to-market strategy? And then we agree on what best solution fit their customer base, their prospect, and we take it from there. Focus, focus, focus. And once we have one success, we start to replicate it and take it to the another and the other, and this is how we expand.
Okay, it's clear. My next question would be, even if I am your product manager, I actually every day trying to fix this question. I mean, with updates regarding customers and partners. What value IBM is bringing to customers today?
Perhaps Ben is my go-to person when it comes to customer engagement, especially on the data AI. Perhaps you would like to take this question, Ben?
Yeah. And thank you very much. Thank you for this opportunity. It's really exciting when you're passionate about something and you have the opportunity to actually discuss it. So thank you for this opportunity. Before I actually jump into how the solutions are really being taken up in the market, I'll take a step back and say how, and over the past 15 years, we've been hearing about how data is the new natural resource. That's no longer just a concept. It's no longer something which people just talk about. It's something which companies are using to differentiate themselves. How well you understand your customers will result in more customer satisfaction. How well you understand your operations will lead to company efficiency. The challenge is that a lot of companies have all this data, they have all this natural resource, but they don't know how to use it, or they aren't utilizing it. It's like if you're a sailor and you're on a boat in the middle of an ocean. You're surrounded by all this water, but there's not a drop which you can use. That's the same situation for data. Companies have all this data, but they don't actually know how to use it. And that's where IBM steps in. IBM, that's what we call the gap of not knowing. You're only using 20% of your data as opposed to maximizing on it all. When you start to maximize it, you're bridging the gap of not knowing. The data you have and the data you use is the gap that you don't know. So that's where IBM comes to help companies fill that gap. How do we actually use that? On one hand, customer. An age-old saying is the customer is king. So how well do you know your customer? How well do you know your customer? I always give the analogy that One day, a service provider will send me a text message and they ask me, Ben, would you like to get this loan for university? And then the next day, they'll send me a message asking me, Ben, would you like your pension fund? So which end of the scale am I? Am I someone who's starting my career by getting into university, or am I someone towards the end? The reason there's that big disparity is you don't understand your customer. So number one, you have to understand your customer. What is Ben's interest? Ben's birthday is in August. He likes to travel in August.
Yeah.
So do you come to him? Do you understand Ben for the past 5 years? He's been traveling in August. Now you have that data. How do you use it? Do you reach out to Ben in June? Tell Ben, we have this offer for this holiday. We'd like to offer you package 1, 2, 3.
Interesting.
That's how you actually utilize the data.
Yeah.
So you're not just sitting on the data, you're utilizing it. Now you understand Ben so much, even before I have a question, you're already telling me the answers. Imagine if that's how you are as a bank. Before Ben starts thinking about different places to look for loans, you're already giving him that loan.
Okay.
Before Ben even realizes he needs a credit card with a higher limit, you're already giving him that offer.
Brilliant.
If I have questions about getting insurance, I'll come to you first because you are what we call my trusted advisor. So that's understanding me, but also how easy is it for me to communicate with a bank? In the market, there's a very common term, a chatbot. Chatbots are good, but they're limited. IBM is changing the game with what we call a virtual assistant. In some cases, when you deal with a chatbot, you have to ask questions in very specific ways. You have to ask 1 + 1 must equal 2. But that's not how people communicate. We aren't robots. We ask questions in different ways. I can tell my bank, for example, I'm planning to get married in August. I want to have a family house by September. Automatically, the system should be smart enough to understand he's asking for a mortgage. And that's through what we call natural language understanding. I don't have to tick boxes in a specific way to get that output. And it's because of this, systems should work for people. People shouldn't work for the systems. And that's what you get with this sort of innovative technology. And the reason IBM has been relevant for all these years, over 110 years, is because we're constantly reinventing ourselves. Currently, how we're changing the market landscape is through an offering called Watson X.
Yes.
This is our artificial intelligence portfolio. We have these systems which are smart enough to understand you're a telco. You're very strongly managed by regulators. So do you have one individual who's trying to go through all the new regulations, or do you have a system which can quickly scan the regulations, immediately scan your internal processes, understand, do you have gaps? Do you have gaps which you can be exposed? Do you have individuals who are managing fraud, who have to go by individual transactions to see if there's a gap? What does that mean? You're reactive. Or do you have a system which is so smart it can be proactive? It identifies patterns before there's an incident. And really, that's how you start getting the value out of these systems. Let the systems work for you. The reason we have all these systems is to improve convenience, to improve efficiency. So really, AI has been considered a concept of the future. The future is now. We are the future. So let's embrace them and maximize what we can do for people.
Thanks a lot for this brilliant explanation. I think we can guess now that Ben will be returning back to Morocco in next August.
Absolutely.
For two reasons. Because the first one, his birthday is in August. The second, he liked Morocco. So,
We all love Morocco.
especially.
It's beautiful. Thank you so
So
much.
I think
Absolutely. And what I can assure you, we are here to make sure that we support the Moroccan market with our solution, and we will do whatever it takes to really drive things forward. And this is our strategy, partner first.
Thanks a lot, and it was a pleasure to having you here in our podcast room. Have you anything else to add regarding data and AI automation?
Thank you very
IBM
much,
in general?
Abdurrahman, for this opportunity. We really
Thanks a
appreciate
lot.
it.
Thanks, Mr. Deya. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you for your time.
Bye-bye.